All right, let's go. There we go. All right. Good evening. This is Thursday, November 20th, and the Bolton Board of Selectmen. First item on our agenda is a sign request for Houghton Farms.
I don't see one here yet.
The request is for a sign that will stay up during construction that's 48 inches by 26 inches, which says Houghton Farms and has contact information for the, mentions the developer and his contact information for the brokers. Seems fairly straightforward.
Have we done with other developments?
I'm sorry?
Have we done this with it?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
Yes, we have.
Okay. And is there a time frame on when it comes down? Is it when?
Usually when the development is done.
Yeah,
So it stays up until the last house is sold?
which it could be a long time.
A lot of houses for sale right now.
I did expect someone to come in, so I don't know if you want to wait or just move it
Not
on.
have any real issues with it, so
That's fine.
Yeah.
You'll be happy to come in and,
walk out. You walk out. Okay, I move we approve the sign for Houghton Farms as shown.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. The second item on our agenda is a signed request from Animal Adventures. And this, do you have something with you? Why don't you
Yeah, and
come
again,
on up.
I'm not married to the size. It's, right now we use an A-frame.
Yep.
And there's a spot available on those signs on the highway. And when they came down, they said, we're next in line. There's two things they wanted us to do. They want us to have any kind of permanent sign out here. This is just, I had a sign company down because I put a sign on my property because we changed our entrance over here, and he just did something like that. That's what he came up with, but again, I don't care where it is or how big it is. It just has to be anything that we stick in the ground. And
So to get the sign on the highway, you need to have a permanent sign.
yeah,
And you had said 2 by 3 feet, and he's proposed 4 by 3.5 feet.
that's what he, the sign designer came up with, but I honestly don't care. This is what we've been using for the last 17 years. We've been using that. And this is where we sketched it over here, but it doesn't matter to us where it is. Like if it's against the fence, I don't care. I just wanna, the opportunity came up because we called before to get a sign, there wasn't a spot, and they're like, it's $10,000, and with the spot available, it's like $2,000. They wanted that. Then we used to have a sign, the chief of police and Mr. Brown, we drove around, we picked where our signs could go. We used to have a sign on the corner of Golden Run and Sugar, and then when the development was going up, that sign disappeared, and they said we need to re-put that sign up. That's like a 1 by 2, it's like a small. It was there, it was approved before, it's just, it got stolen, the pole and everything got stolen. So, it disappeared off that corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you proposing both these signs then, the replacement of that the smaller sign?
Yeah, I'd like to put that back up, because that's what, when the guy came from the state, he said, oh, you need to have a sign here so people don't go straight. And we said, oh, we had one, but it got stolen. He said, well, put it back up and put something permanent there. Then we had to do a handicap ramp here, which I got the paperwork for the other day. So everything has been approved except this.
Sure. And what color is it going to be?
This here is green, but again, I don't care if you say, hey, make it white, whatever, and has our logo on it. Use the word.
No, I think it's sort of your call unless it's fluorescent or something.
No, it's like a hunter green and our logo. It's not that bright, but the printer ran out of ink. So, as always, my kids have no clue, like they go on the printer. This one. Yeah, look at I printed 60 pages of
color.
Yeah, color.
Well, no, that's fine, and it'll give you the entree out in the highway then.
That'd be a huge boost. I just wanted to thank you for all the work you did with my daughter Sky and the bus and all that. I talked to the school, and right now we're still driving her because she's shy, but we appreciate that, what you went through.
You're very
To
welcome.
do that, you know, the school actually contacted me and said, you know, you realize that, you know, we've never had anybody go this extra mile to help a student out, so appreciate that a lot.
No, it's nice to hear.
So they're going kind of parallel to the road or perpendicular?
It would be parallel, it's gonna follow the same as the fence line right here. And again, it can be, our fence is pretty far back off the property. Originally, when I bought the place, there was a fence all the way out here, and then we cut it, when I put up this area here, we cut it in. But again, you know, he didn't say it had to be a size, he just said, I need something in the ground, so I don't care what it is.
Okay.
And that size meets our bylaw, right?
Oh, yeah, no, it's well within, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have personally, I'd probably say put it perpendicular so it's more noticeable when people are driving up, but
Okay,
that's your call.
Yeah, no, that makes more sense. But I can't draw with a stick figure, so I asked Brian, he asked me if he could. That's what he brought.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, if you don't mind, perpendicular would be better for both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure, yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, I mean, I'll move to approve the proposed sign for Animal Adventures.
Thank you. Now, this needs a permit from the building
Yes,
inspector?
it does.
Yeah.
The same application that you got probably for the ramp. I
Okay,
can send it to you.
well, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Do you want to have add in the replacement of the other, the former sign?
I'm not sure that we need to approve replacements of something that was previously permitted, but I will, so I
That's a good
I will.
point, that's a good point.
I will move that we approve the additional 4 by 3.5 sign for Animal Adventures and the replacement sign at the corner of Golden Run and Sugar.
Thank you very much.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
You're all set.
Great.
Nice to see you, thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you,
Sure.
sir. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, really appreciate it.
Have a nice night.
You too. Bye, everybody.
The next item on our agenda is the town administrator report with an update on Minuteman.
Thank you. I will be brief. I attended the latest building committee meeting this week, and the architects are in the home stretch for the somewhat detailed renderings of what the school will look like. I mistakenly used the word schematics last week, and schematics are much further down the line than where we are right now. Actually, schematics are probably 6 months away, now that I think about it, but they got input from the committee on the aesthetics of the exterior of the building. I actually thought there was perhaps a little more glass than I would have liked to have seen, but there was more glass in the rehab and addition version than there was in the new school edition, and they actually said that what looks like glass in the rehab and expansion edition wasn't necessarily glass, it could be some sort of metal or whatever, so I mistook some of the silver stuff for glass. I love natural light personally, but I think it's really hard to keep clean when you have a ton of it, and I worry about once you move in to something, how you maintain it, so, but we did give them direction to proceed with the basic exterior design that they came up with, and for an all-new school, they came up with what they really call the knuckle approach, which is a straight line and then with a couple of wings, one kind of bent this way, one kind of bent that way, to try to avoid the wetlands and where they suspect there may be some peat. So they've sorted through that. And so the committee voted to direct them to continue along with that type of design. They've worked out the educational plan, how it would fit within the building, so it's all good so far. It's just an awful lot of work that remains to be done while the school works on trying to start getting a communication strategy out to the towns as to where the project is. And to that end, I recommended that Ed Boquillan and whoever else would come to the January Tri-Town meeting, where they could present this latest update to 3 towns at once. And he really liked that idea. So the January Tri-Town meeting, I believe, would be in Lancaster. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. And we do not have prices yet. We don't have cost estimates yet for the building options, but we should have by January. So that is all I have right now, unless,
It's good that this school building project actually figured out the needs first and then went through the plans.
I have to say that the superintendent and not just the superintendent, the superintendent and staff have put a lot of time into trying to understand the education, the actual ed plan, what the curriculum would be. They've spent a lot of time meeting with students. They've had student meetings and gotten them really involved, and they said the students have been really excited to do that and have responded really well because they feel that they know the building and the needs better than say a teacher or department head who only spends their time in one part of the building.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So they got a lot of the students involved, and the superintendent couldn't be more pleased with the input that he's gotten.
That's good.
So I think it's great. The staff has been very involved and the students have been very involved, and I think the superintendent should be commended for that.
Good. Next item on our agenda is Board of Selectmen business, and the first item there is we have a request that the Selectmen send a letter. This is a request that came from Environment Massachusetts, and they were requesting that and I think they're making this request of a lot of towns around the state, but they wanted to write to the governor-elect and or have us write to the governor-elect and a letter, and what they're proposing says, by using solar energy to power our homes, businesses, schools, farms, and government buildings, we can reduce pollution, cut energy bills, and boost local economies. Currently, only a fraction of Massachusetts' power comes from the sun. Solar is growing in Massachusetts across the country. Over the past 3 years, solar capacity grew by 84% in Massachusetts. And they go on, the letter goes on to say, for the sake of our environment, our health, and our economy, we ask you to join us in committing the state to getting 20% of our power from the sun by 2025. We can achieve that goal if we grow solar by 27% per year. I guess I'd be inclined to send something along these lines. I think it dovetails with some of the opposition to the gas pipeline, which is, we need other sources if that. So I don't.
I think it's a good goal.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. So I'll move that we send a letter to this effect.
I'll second.
I don't know whether we want this exact wording or if you want to.
No, we can maybe sort of wordsmith this a little bit, but no, I'll second that because I think that the sentiment makes sense.
Yeah.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. The next item on our agenda is a appointment to the Audit Advisory Committee, and this is the Bolton representative to the Neshoba Regional School District Audit Advisory Committee. And we just have a single candidate?
Yes.
Michelle McMahon seems very well qualified. She's works as a finance manager at a nonprofit in Boston, but she has worked in accounting, both as an auditor and as an accountant who has been audited. So I think she sounds like a very strong candidate for this position, and I think we're glad she volunteered. So.
Move that we appoint her to the Audit Advisory Committee.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
And the next item are appointments to the Human Services and Safety Committee. And I remember when you were forming the committee, I was concerned you weren't going to have folks volunteering, but you do have folks. Do you want to say anything about that, or do we just want us to go through the names of the people so far?
Well, I just want to say first, thank you very much. I appreciate everything the selectmen have done. Linda has been awesome, and Don has been great. When a new committee's put together, you have to learn the ropes, and I appreciate that. We've had 2 meetings, and it's a dynamic group of people. I'm very excited. They're very bright, I called them a brain trust last night, and because they really are. We have a CFO, we have, a social worker and a nurse researcher, and it's just, I'm very impressed with their work and what I think we're going to be able to do. So thank you.
No, that's great, that's great. We're happy to sort of formalize the appointments here.
Move that we appoint to the Human Services and Safety Committee for 3-year terms, Mindy Agram, Fred Edling, Mary Jo White, and Pat Bensetzer.
I'll second that. All those in favor? Aye. Hey, how many, are you still looking for folks? What was, I forget how many, what was the number on the committee? Or
We agreed on 5,
Yeah.
and actually, we had 5, and one person had to withdraw because of babysitting commitments. And I put in a little ad in the census mailing,
Right.
and what I think is good for us right now is for people to, we're working on our goals and objectives, and what we want to do in our calendar for the first year. So I think right now, as a group, we're coalescing, and so getting another person in January or February would be wonderful.
Great.
And I have 3 people who want to be sort of associate members, and they're going to be working on specific forums. So it's really been very gratifying, the support.
No, that's great.
So
Great.
thank you.
The next item on our agenda is a request from Bolton Access Television. This is related to money, I suspect. We don't know exactly how much.
We do. We do actually. It's not-
Any mail come today?
We have plenty of mail, but no UPS for it, I'm sorry. so.
UPS.
So it's $2,273.27.
Okay, that's the amount that came in. We are expecting actually 2 more checks to come in. One for $12,000, which we intend to leave in the Bolton Fund. And one for, if my math is correct, will be $20,400, give or take. So we would like to take the 2273.27 right now. There's a meeting on the 4th.
Karis.
Okay. We will chase down where the other 2 checks are. If they haven't come in, I may borrow against what is in the fund right now. But I
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm requesting-
What's the current balance?
about 11,500, something like that. Yeah.
All right.
But that'll get us to the beginning of the month, certainly through the month. So my request is for 2273.27.
Okay. I move we release 2273.27 to Bolton Access TV.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
All right.
This time I go over.
Smart move.
Let's see, I have,
Yeah.
I guess just a quick comment, it's not on the agenda, but I just wanted to thank the town hall staff and the volunteers that put on the Veterans Day brunch. It was very well attended, and it was a very, very good, very well run event. And I'd also like to thank the local businesses in town that donated the food and supplies to it.
Great. Well, I think that's all we have, except unless we have minutes?
We have minutes,
Yeah, you
yeah?
No?
I move we approve the minutes for the July 10th executive session and the July 10th regular session.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, and we don't have any executive session.
We do not.
So that's, so we're done.
This was the fastest selectmen's meeting.